Well, got a new project tractor here. This is Sears SS16 with a Onan twin cylinder in it. The wiring is a absolute nightmare, but don't look too bad. It's got oil. See what it looks like in the carburetor. Doesn't look like it's too bad in the carburetor. Well, I'm going to just try to get this thing started, or get some power to it and see if it'll turn over. Then we might try to get it to fire up. Okay. Oh. That's ground. Do this carefully. Need to figure out those two are tapped together. We'll see. I don't really understand the wiring here, but probably because it's missing an ignition switch, they went ahead and just start cutting wires. Let's see if it'll do anything. That's what I thought. That was a good sign. I need to see how we can get power to this coil here. We are going to wire this ignition coil. gasoline in there. Hold the choke shut. With a little throttle. Probably does not have spark. It's an Onan. I'm gonna pull the cover off the points and see what's in there. Alright guys, clean the points, and it seems like we are getting spark now. I'm gonna try this all over again. Really need to take the points out. I don't think they're burning hot enough. Well, that's a good sign. Points was a little. Still got a little dirt on them. Alright guys, I've got it hooked up to a little gas tank, so we're going to see if we can get the fuel pump to pull some fuel. Oh, come on. got water on top of the head. Well, that thing runs awfully good considering how long it's been sitting. See that water there is boiling away. Look at that. Well, here's the plan of action. We're gonna, I'm sure the carburetor needs to be cleaned, but before I get carried away with cleaning it, I'm going to try to adjust it. Because normally if I own it, once you open that carburetor, you're buying a rebuild kit for it. And they're not cheap. So, we're going to try to clean the carburetor. One thing I also noticed, it's charging, which is amazing because this wiring is, it's crazy. I mean, it's horrible, but it's actually charging. So that's good. We don't have to worry about that. So I guess we just have to sort out some feel issues and some electric issues. And for some reason, somebody tried to cut through the frame. I have a feeling they were trying to stretch it, probably make a mud mower out of it or something. Anyway, then they never finished. And we'll have to weld that up and grind it down and paint it. Alright guys, it runs and it does move, as you saw. Popped it in gear. Wonder if the mower deck will engage. Let's see if we can get it to fire back up without any extra. Deck does engage, but for some awful reason it's running on one cylinder now. Alright, we've definitely got some work to do on it, but it does run. So that's it for this one. Alright guys, well, I did a little more work on the Sears Suburban off camera. New battery, put a new coil in it, or the coil off of the Onan that used to be in my case tractor, new to this one. Adjusted the carburetor. I kind of used the makeshift wiring harness they'd made for it. Just put the push button on the dash and I added a toggle switch for the ignition coil. And got a voltage regulator off of a newer Craftsman with a Kohler V-twin. It works. Oh, and I got the fuel pump hooked up to the tank, which surprisingly runs pretty decent off that old gas. But we'll see if she'll fire up here. Idle's nice and low. It would idle lower if I turn the idle speed down a little bit. It does smoke just a little bit when you rev it, and it does smoke some under load. it really needs a set of, well, it could use a set of plugs, but it could also use a set of rings, just like every Onan engine I've ever owned or worked on. They all burn a little oil. This one seems to run pretty smooth. Put her in high gear. Brakes work good, which is really nice because I have a ton of hills and grades. Turn the mower deck on here. There's some smoke. That's going to be it for this one, guys. I'll have more videos of this tractor doing some stuff. I did do a little mowing with it. We'll make that a separate video. And I've got a sleeve hitch that will fit it, so we'll probably put the sleeve hitch on it and use some of my sleeve hitch implements with it. But it runs pretty decent for what it is. Anyway, we still got a little work to do. I got to do some welding on the mower deck and on that part of the frame where they tried to cut it for whatever reason. And we're going to have to do a proper wiring job. Get the headlights and the tail light wired up. Get the mower deck fixed and all that. And probably replace these tires, even though they've got pretty decent tread. I personally prefer ag tires. Seats in pretty, it's an okay shape. It's got a few cracks, but considering this thing's been outside, I mean, it still looks pretty good. So alright guys, that's it for this one. More videos to come of this thing. Thanks for watching. See everybody later.